I'm a properly trained actor, formal performance degree and everything. Give me a role and I nail it in one take. The audience has spoken up for me more than once, saying I got robbed. Give me a psycho to play, and my performance was so vicious that parents used it to scare their kids straight. But when I showed up for a reality competition show for actors, some industry connection pulled strings and stole my role right out from under me. The cop role that should have been mine got swapped, and I got handed a junkie instead. I stared down at my new role, junkie, and felt my heart go cold. What's even the point of acting at this point? Right as I was grumbling about it, an electronic chime suddenly rang out in my head. Congratulations, host. The method skin melting system has been activated. Target role detected. Reward, addict. Reward, host will become a genuine addict, as convincing as one with 10 years in the role. For a second, I actually got excited. Hell yes, this was a windfall. But the very next moment, every ounce of energy in my body seemed to drain away. I couldn't stop yawning, my jaw cracking wide open, tears streaming down uncontrollably. Assessment begins. Will the two contestants please take your places? Wait, give me a second to prepare. I turned and jogged off to a corner, crouched down, and started dry heaving. Everyone in the room froze. What is he even doing? Meanwhile, Yi Ming, the guy who'd taken my cop role, looked completely unbothered. Nervous? Go ahead and puke it out. Pretty weak nerves you've got there. He slipped into character, searching for the feel of it. All right. Crouched against the white wall, my mind was screaming that something was seriously wrong with my body. It was falling apart. I've never touched actual drugs in my life, but goosebumps were crawling up my arms right now. My stomach was churning, my limbs were shaking, and cold sweat was pouring off me. None of that felt remotely normal. Then I remembered the system's voice from a second ago, and in an instant, I snapped back to normal. Every symptom vanished. I nearly wanted to cry from relief. Thank God I switched back. This system is insane. It can actually turn me into the real thing. I really had become an addict. Xiao Chen, are you ready? Stall any longer and you're eliminated. Ready. My head tilted, and I switched back into the addict's body again. I slowly stood up, turned around, shoulders hunched and shuffling, and dragged myself across to sit down right across from Yi Ming. Everyone in the room froze the second they saw me. Why did his whole face look so different? The judge with the surname Meng called action, and the assessment officially began. Yi Ming was playing the interrogator, an undercover cop role, and he was supposed to bring sharp eyes and an intimidating physical presence. He played it steady enough, straight-faced and serious, but there was something off about the whole performance. For one thing, he'd shown up in full-styled hair, and his eyes weren't sharp at all, more like shifty. Across from him, I was playing an addict cracking under interrogation, supposed to spiral into a breakdown. My lines were only about 10 simple sentences. The second the scene started, I was fully in character. Shaking all over, face turning pale green, one hand unconsciously scratching at my arm, the back of my neck slick with cold sweat, my shirt soaked through. Officer? You got a smoke? Is this actually acting or is it real? His face has actually changed color, and his eyes are shot through with blood vessels. He can't actually be having a real episode, can he? I really don't know who your supplier is. Officer, can I just get a cup of water? You staring at me like that isn't going to do anything. Please, just let me have one hit. Just one. I trailed off, shaking violently, eyes blown wide, and my behavior was clearly starting to spiral out of control. This guy's not acting. He's actually having a breakdown. How is a performance even supposed to reach this level? Yi Ming suddenly turned to glance at the judges, and by now all three of them were exchanging stunned looks, along with the two crew members filming from the corner. Every single person in that room was thinking the exact same thing. This guy might actually be having a real episode. My expression twisted into something ferocious, sweat streaming down my face as I kept wiping it away, glaring at Yi Ming with a wild, savage look. Pry my mouth open, throw me a cigarette. Otherwise you won't get a damn word out of me. Go on, you want to hit me? Come hit me. Look at that face. You're dying to hit me, aren't you? Come on, hit me, beat me to death. I screamed the last few words at the top of my lungs, throat raw. Yi Ming was genuinely spooked by my expression and stare, and he instinctively shot up out of his seat, stumbling backwards several steps, face full of terror, knocking his chair over in the process. At the same moment, all three judges rose to their feet too, staring at me in shock. The whole atmosphere in the room had shifted completely. Watching my state get more and more terrifying by the second, a staff member hurried over to the senior judge and asked in a low voice, "Teacher Jang?" The old judge, Zhang Huiren, looked rattled himself, staying silent and staring hard at me, unable to tell whether this young man was acting or genuinely about to have a psychotic break. By this point, I'd already gotten through 7 of my 10 lines, and especially that last bit, the hysterical, unhinged rage, along with "hit me, beat me to death," all of that I'd improvised on the spot. The effect landed perfectly. Now the senior judge Zhang Huiren felt goosebumps crawling all over his own body. If a performance this real could make him feel like he was right there in the moment, he was even starting to wonder if this young man was actually about to have a real episode. If so, this level of acting would be nothing short of terrifying. The 2 crew members in the corner huddled together, whispering, "Bro, is this kid actually about to have a real episode?" "Not our business. The higher-ups haven't even said anything yet. Just watch." "Bro, I think he's about to go completely feral. What if he actually loses it and flips the table? Should we go help?" Before he could finish, there was a loud crash. By this point, my state had fully tipped over into a real breakdown. I was flipping over the table, smashing chairs, hating the sight of everything, restless and agitated, cornered like a trapped animal, desperate to tear into anything within reach. I lunged straight at Yiming without warning. The abrupt movement scared him white, and he stumbled backward, his own feet tangling under him, and he crashed down onto his backside with a thud. That seemed to light the fuse. I lunged forward and slammed my knee straight into his chest, screaming through gritted teeth, "Give me a hit! Just give me one hit! Give me one hit! Help! Somebody help!" "Lu Chen, what are you doing? Someone go pull him off, quick! This is over. He's really having a real episode. Get out of here!" Right about then, I actually managed to fish a pack of cigarettes out of Yiming's pocket and immediately spun around and scrambled into a corner, curling up on the floor, using trembling hands to fumble a cigarette free. My lighter dropped to the floor several times before I finally managed to get it lit. I took a deep drag, tears and snot and drool all running together down my face. Puffing out smoke, I muttered to myself, "Finally got one hit. Not gonna die after all." Within moments, the door to the assessment room burst open and 2 uniformed officers walked in. The judge, surnamed Meng, rushed over immediately, pointing at me in the corner. "That's him. He's definitely a real addict, and he just had an episode. Look what he did. He scared one of our contestants half to death." The 2 officers circled around me, one pulling out a stun baton, the other a pepper spray canister, slowly closing in. Right as they moved to restrain me, I suddenly turned to look at them. Excuse me? Did someone yell cut? Are you 2 security guards part of the planned bit?" Without another word, the 2 officers hauled me straight out. As I was being led out of the assessment room, over 100 people outside were already holding up their phones, recording. Did you guys hear? One of the contestants is an actual drug addict, and it just so happened the assessment scene called for 2 addicts. Then during the assessment, this contestant apparently had a real episode. Terrifying. Word is, he scared his rival so bad the guy peed himself. The rival in question was a top-tier influencer streamer who went by the handle Forest Pretty Boy, and he supposedly wet himself on the spot. Within no time, it was all over the internet, every kind of bizarre post flying around. But every single one of them was about me. That evening, as the sunset bled red across the sky, I finally walked out of the police station, feeling completely light. Both the urine test and blood test had come back negative. There wasn't a single trace of any illegal substance in my system, which meant everything I'd shown in that assessment room had been pure performance. Walking out the front door, an officer followed behind me, the same one who'd personally hauled me off to the station that afternoon. His name was Ma Jun. Once we reached the roadside, Ma Jun clapped me on the shoulder. "Go on home, kid. Also, about your competition thing, we'll help you draft a document to clear things up. Thanks, Officer Ma. Don't mention it. Honestly, when I first saw you back there, I really thought you were having a real episode. Turns out that was all a performance. That's genuinely something to behold. Thanks for the compliment. I'll head out now." "Thanks for the help, Officer Ma. Get that document over to the show's production team as soon as you can. Don't worry, I will." That night, the local police station in the district released an official statement. Since the incident had happened at an open casting call for an actor competition show, and the way I'd been taken away had caused a fair amount of public confusion and misinformation, the police felt it necessary to clarify things publicly. At the same time, the show's production team, along with the person in charge of the Yanjing casting site, including all 3 judges, all received the official clarification document from the police. After reading it, the 3 judges, who happened to be having dinner together that night, were completely stunned. So there was no actual episode. The kid was just that good an actor. Damn, that level of performance is something else. Right there at dinner, the senior judge Zhang Huaren and the female judge slapped the table and made their decision. He advances. The judge, surnamed Meng, had nothing left to say. What could she even argue? She'd been shocked herself. And as for that little influencer, getting scared into wetting himself by someone else's realistic acting. Someone that petty and small-minded, best to just let it go. And just like that, I successfully advanced. At 9:30 that night, the show's official website posted the results of the first round of casting, and there on the Yanjing Regional Advancement List was my name, plain as day. Alongside it, the site had posted a separate statement, the police clarification document included, to set the record straight on my behalf. Everyone who read that statement was left utterly stunned. Wait, so what happened was, Liu Chen's acting was so realistic, he scared his opponent into wetting himself, scared the judges into calling the actual police, and he's completely innocent? You couldn't write this in a novel if you tried. Just like that, public opinion flipped overnight, and my name shot right back to the top of every trending topic list. Except this time, every single post was praising how insanely good my acting was. Yi Ming, meanwhile, was in a foul mood. He'd gone to a casting call that afternoon and ended up getting scared into peeing himself by that lunatic. Humiliation on a global scale. He wasn't in the mood to stream tonight, but he still had to go live and say a few words to his fans. That was his whole strategy for keeping them engaged. Gotta maintain that emotional connection now and then. So Yi Ming changed into something more casual, touched up his look a little, flipped on the beauty filter and smoothing effects, and, still a forest-style pretty boy underneath it all, went live. The moment he opened the stream, he was stunned to find the concurrent viewer count had already blown past 50,000. His total follower count was only about 300,000, and on a normal day, his live viewership was low. Anything over 10,000 counted as a big crowd. What's going on today? The viewer count kept climbing and climbing, like everyone had been specifically waiting for him to go live. Yi Ming's mood lifted a bit, and he struck a pose for the camera. Evening, everyone. Right before signing off for the night, like usual with a bit of small talk for his regulars, Yi Ming suddenly went silent, his expression frozen. The chat was flooded wall to wall, the comment section refreshing nonstop. Ha ha ha, I'm dying, laughing. Not gonna lie, I'm literally only here to see this guy get roasted. Streamer, have you seen the casting advancement list? I heard that Liu Chen guy already made it through. Damn, I saw the video going around online. My eyes just about exploded. Kill 1,000 fakes. You genuinely could not tell that was acting. Anyone notice the clip where the streamer got scared? Did they cut that part out? Streamer's totally canceled now, huh? But hey, being canceled suits you. People are calling you trash beauty now. Come on, streamer, do a handstand. Trash. Seriously, if you don't do a handstand right now, I'm unfollowing. Called it. See, above me is Sister Binyi unfollowing already. Yi Ming was dumbfounded. Even Sister Binyi was ready to unfollow. Watching the concurrent viewer count keep climbing, closing in on 100,000, and everyone in chat piling on about unfollowing. If people actually did mass unfollow, his whole account would be finished. He'd have to start completely from scratch, and his agency would absolutely make him pay a breach of contract penalty. Just thinking about that astronomical figure made Yi Ming shudder. He gritted his teeth and stood up, plastering on a stiff, unsettling smile for the camera, forcing the words out through clenched teeth. Fine, a bet's a bet. But more than that, I'd started to really dig into just how insane this system I'd activated actually was. First off, I had a stat panel showing my current status. Pretty simple layout, but what genuinely shocked me was the fine print. Right now, I was at level 1. To level up to level 2, I needed to experience 30 different role templates, activate 30 roles, and I'd advance. So what's the difference between level 1 and level 2? At level 1, every role available to me was an ordinary human being. Think undercover addict, chef, lawyer, teacher, and so on. Real roles that exist in everyday life. Then at level 2? Once I hit level 2, the range of roles I could experience expands, adding a whole category of roles that don't actually exist in the real world. Things like martial artists, dancers of every wuxia archetype, action hero roles. That whole special category opens up. My system is called the Turn Fiction Reel system, meaning the moment I perform a role, The system transforms me into that role's actual identity and grants me the corresponding skills. So once I hit level 2, if I ever tried playing an ancient swordsman or a modern-day assassin, I'd genuinely become that swordsman or assassin, complete with real combat speed and killing skills. And level 3? Even more insane. At level 3, the role pool expands into Immortal Cultivator, Xianxia-type roles. Meaning if I ever performed in a Xianxia drama, I'd be granted genuine cultivator power, potentially even actual abilities. That's the whole secret behind the turn fiction reel system. Incredibly powerful. No wonder. Of course, a system belonging to a reincarnator/transmigrator would be this insane. Every transmigrator climbs to the top of life through their system, one way or another. So I got genuinely excited, full of anticipation for the future. That said, climbing to the peak, reaching true, supreme cultivator level power, was clearly going to take a very long time. The system had limits. My identity was locked to actor, so I could only earn role templates through actual performance. I couldn't direct and star in my own productions. No cheating myself into roles like some kind of exploit. I had to honestly go through real-world productions, land actual scripts and roles, or get performance opportunities through competition shows like this one. Fine by me. I wasn't in a rush. Since I'd already activated the system, I might as well take it slow. Getting from level 1 to level 2 required 30 roles. Getting from level 2 to level 3. Who knows how many that would take? Right now, the best path forward was competing in shows like this one, or grinding extra roles on various film sets. Down by a hotel near the area, there was a spot where small production crews came to recruit temporary background actors. Lots of small crews posted castings there, so the ground floor of this hotel was always packed with extras chasing their star dreams, camped out every day waiting for someone to pick them, even for a background walk-on role. Some of the people here had proper training. Others were wide-eyed newbies just trying to force their way into the industry on raw passion alone. The one upside of this spot was there were no agents skimming a cut, no middlemen. Since it was right next to a film academy, the whole scene here basically belonged to film school students. I showed up and, same as everyone else, stood honestly under the shade of a tree, waiting. Someone would come down from the hotel at random times to pick people for a scene, usually 7 or 8 chances a day. Good luck, and you might land a company contract. Bad luck, and you'd at least walk away with a boxed lunch. I used to come here often, so I knew the ropes. I'd barely been standing there a few minutes when someone came down. A chubby guy in a blue shirt, sweating buckets, armpits soaked through. Anyone here know how to cook? At minimum, you need to know your way around a wok, age 25 to 35. The second he said that, the extras who'd already been waiting swarmed him instantly. I can cook, me too! I can flip a wok like nobody's business. I'm 36. Does that work? I can absolutely make fried rice. I've got the wok skills. I can make anything. Braised, marinated, you name it. The chubby guy got mobbed in the middle of the crowd, even more chaotic now, all kinds of voices buzzing in his ears until he was clearly annoyed. Off to the side, I watched with quiet amusement. The ones shouting and jumping at him like that were basically all newbies. Extras with actual experience, like me, would never swarm in like flies. You've got to pick your moment. Watching the crowd yelling and crowding around him in a mess, I timed it just right and called out, I can cook. Know my way around a wok. I'm 26. Kept it brief, hit the important info, done. The chubby guy immediately noticed me, glanced back, and his expression suddenly turned strange. He impatiently shoved his way past the people around him and walked quickly straight up to me, studying my face. Hey, you look familiar. Oh, I remember now. Weren't you at that actor casting yesterday? The one they picked. Lu Chen, right? That's you, isn't it? Yeah, that's me. That's me. You're still out here hustling for work? All right, you're it. Come with me. Got it. I followed the chubby guy into the hotel and got my role info. It was a small-budget urban drama, and the crew had just started filming that morning. Most roles were already cast. But apparently a call had come in earlier that the shoot ran long. The chef in the first scene, a background role with a couple of lines, had been in a car accident and couldn't make it, so they needed someone to fill in fast. It was just a walk-on part, a couple of lines and done. Once picked, I'd need to head straight to set to shoot. In the room, the casting assistant director, a middle-aged man in dark, thick-framed glasses, glanced at me and froze for a second. The chubby guy hurried over and whispered something in his ear. The assistant director suddenly got it. Huh, so it's him. He was trending yesterday. Some no-name newcomer playing an addict scared the hell out of a bunch of people. That's some serious main character energy, kid. But you know what we need here, right? Just 2 lines. Background chef. You interested? Yes. All right, that works. You'll be joining us on set for about 3 days, all kitchen cooking scenes. Okay with that? Pay? Standard rate, $150 a day. I know you're trending right now, but at the end of the day, you're still an extra. Our extras rate runs $100 to $150. Since you're formally trained, we'll give you the full $150. Fine, no problem. All right then, let's get the contract signed. We head to set in 20 minutes. The chubby guy hurried over and handed me the standard extras contract. Just a formality, really. For background work, contracts like this mostly bind the little guy, not the crew. $150 a day, standard market rate. I signed my name quickly. The moment I finished signing, my whole body felt like it was soaking in a hot spring, warm and loose all over. My mind suddenly filled with knowledge of countless dishes, a whole set of habits and instincts baked deep into my bones. This sensation was getting sharper every time. But for now, switch back. Save the display for when we're actually on set. An hour later, the energetic chubby guy and I arrived at a small restaurant near the West 4th Ring Road, the shooting location. The restaurant had to be at least 20 years old. That lived-in, aged feel was exactly what they wanted. Walking in, I spotted the female lead currently filming a scene and froze. The lead actress in this drama turned out to be the exact same girl who'd almost become my rival yesterday, apparently also a newcomer. But say what you will, she was already the female lead now. No matter how small the budget, this was still a proper TV drama. Soon, her scene wrapped. This strikingly pretty girl's acting was still pretty green. A shot of her crouched washing dishes took several takes. Watching her nerves show through during filming, I quietly thought to myself, newcomers really have it rough these days, especially the girls. As Jia Wangking walked past on her way out, I was about to nod in greeting, but she just swept a flat, indifferent glance over me and walked straight past. Jia Wangking had already walked out. I shook my head. Figures. Showbiz is like that. Kiss up, kick down. If we'd bumped into each other out on the street, she might have nodded hello. But on set, she's the female lead now, and I'm just some background extra pulled in for the day. The hierarchy speaks for itself. Someone with good social instincts might have at least faked a nod. Someone without it wouldn't even bother acknowledging a disposable extra. And who knows? Maybe she'll blow up huge one day, become a star overnight, while you're still stuck being a background extra forever.